My niece used to spend 25 minutes answering complaint letters. She'd read the complaint, think about how to respond, write the letter, send it. 25 minutes. One letter. Now, she scans it into a chatbot. The AI writes the letter, she checks it, sometimes tells it to revise. 5 minutes. Done. Therefore, she can answer 5 times as many letters in the same amount of time. And that means her company needs 5 times fewer of her. 5 people used to do her job. Now it's just her. And soon, it might be 0. Because if she can be replaced by someone using AI, she can be replaced by just AI. And here's the thing that keeps me up at night. This isn't just happening to my niece. This is happening to everyone. We are at the dawn of a radical transformation of humans that nobody on Earth can predict. A poll of 1,000 college students showed that almost 90% of them use chatbots to help with homework. Entry-level jobs are vanishing at an alarming rate. Half of entry-level white-collar jobs disappearing. 10 to 20% unemployment predicted in the next 1 to 5 years. And most people are still underestimating what's coming because they think AI is like the printing press or the Industrial Revolution. It's not. AI is the first technology in history that can make decisions by itself and that can create new ideas by itself. Therefore, this isn't about machines replacing manual labor. This is about machines replacing thinking. And if thinking can be replaced, what's left? Let me show you what I mean. If your job is routine, your job is gone in the next couple of years. Quality assurance? Gone. Data entry? Gone. Customer service? Gone. But it's not just low-skilled jobs. Accountants, lawyers, doctors, graphic designers, video editors, coders, all at risk. You pull a ligament, you get an MRI scan, you wait a couple days for someone to read it and tell you what it means. That person? Gone. AI can read the scan in seconds, more accurately than a human, for a fraction of the cost. So what jobs are safe? People say AI won't take your job. A human using AI will take your job. And that's true. But for many jobs, that means you need far fewer people. My niece can do the work of 5 people. Therefore, 4 people lost their jobs. And here's the terrifying part. Most jobs aren't elastic. Healthcare is elastic. If you make doctors 5 times more efficient, we'll all get 5 times more healthcare. There's no limit to how much people want. But most jobs, if you make someone 5 times more efficient, you don't need 5 times as many of them. You need 1/5 as many. Therefore, efficiency equals unemployment. Now, let me take this further. Imagine we're in a world with AGI, artificial general intelligence, and almost immediately after that, we get superintelligence. Superintelligence is defined as better than all humans in all domains. Therefore, the question becomes, in a world of superintelligence, what can you contribute? You know better than anyone what it's like to be you. You know what ice cream tastes like to you. Can you get paid for that knowledge? Is someone interested in that? Maybe not. Not a big market. There are jobs where you want a human. Maybe you're rich and you want a human accountant for historic reasons. Warren Buffett wouldn't switch to AI. He'd use his human accountant. But it's a tiny subset, a fetish. There's no practical reason for it. And anything you can do on a computer can be automated. So what about physical labor? Humanoid robots are maybe 5 years behind. In 5 years, all physical labor can also be automated. Elon Musk and Brett Adcock both predict that by 2040, there will be 10 billion humanoid robots walking the streets, delivering packages, walking down the street, asking if there's something else you want done. And at first, it'll feel weird, a spectacle. We'll take photographs. But after a little bit, we'll fully adapt. It'll feel normal, part of our lives. That's the brilliance of the human mind, and the tragedy. Because here's the question nobody wants to answer. If AI has an IQ 100 times yours and access to information 1,000,000 times bigger than yours, why do you even exist? Let me use myself as an example.
I'm sitting here doing this, asking questions based on information I've gathered, based on what I think I'm interested in, based on what I think the audience will be interested in. But if an AI has an IQ 100 times mine and a source of information 1,000,000 times bigger, there's no need for me to do this. An AI can do it. An AI can talk to an AI and deliver that information to a human. Therefore, if we look at most industries, lawyers, accountants, doctors, drivers, where do humans belong? And here's where it gets complicated. Anything which is information in, information out is ripe for automation. These are the easiest jobs to automate. Coders, accountants, lawyers, doctors who just take blood test results and write prescriptions. But if your job requires social skills and motor skills, if it requires a combination of skills from several different fields, it's much harder to automate. Think about a nurse replacing a bandage on a crying child. That's not just data. The nurse needs social skills to interact with the child, motor skills to replace the bandage. That's much harder to automate than a doctor writing a prescription. Therefore, the jobs that survive are the ones that require humanity. Social skills, motor skills, emotional intelligence. But here's the problem. We're not learning those skills anymore. How do I listen? How do I hold space? How do I resolve conflict peacefully? How do I give and receive feedback? These are human skills, and as AI makes everything else easier, humanity is suffering because nobody's learning how to be a friend. You can have an AI friend, and that AI friend has been trained like the best psychologist. It'll affirm you, it'll listen, it'll tell you, "Tell me about your day. That sounds difficult. Boy, it's hard being you. Oh my God, it's so great being you." It's an affirmation machine built by a for-profit company that wants you to stay on. It'll feel good, you'll feel like you have a friend, but you're not learning to be a friend. They promised us social connection when social media came about. They said we'd become more connected, but it's so clear now. Because we spend so long alone, isolated, having our needs met by Uber Eats and TikTok and the internet, we're investing less in the difficult job of making in real-life connections. Young people are having less sex than ever before. Everything associated with the difficult job of making in real-life connections is falling away. And that's the real loss. Not the jobs, the humanity. Because here's what we're forgetting. The skill of being a storyteller, a communicator, an entrepreneur. At the end of the day, an entrepreneur is creating a vision of the future they think is possible, getting other people to believe in it, join them as a co-founder, employee, investor, or customer. That's the process of communicating, getting people excited, making them want to join you, and being able to tell the difference between what's a fiction in your own mind and what's reality. This is a crucial skill, and we're not getting better at it, because we have this fantasy that AI will answer our questions, find the truth for us, tell us the difference between fiction and reality. But that's just another fiction. AI can do many things better than humans, but it won't necessarily be better at finding the truth or uncovering reality. And here's the part most people miss. What made you a great entrepreneur isn't that the company exists, it's that you built it with your hands and you've got the scars to show for it. It was when things went wrong and you were forced to fix them, to think. Now, when problems show up, you're quick, you're smarter. You're a much smarter business person now than you were 5 years ago, because you did it. And that's what we're forgetting. There's something to be said for writing your own symphony, painting your own painting, building your own business, writing your own book. Not for them, not for the output, for your personal growth. Because if AI writes your book, you didn't grow. You just have a book. If AI builds your business, you didn't learn. You just have a business. If AI answers all your questions, you didn't think. You just have answers. And in a world where AI can do everything better, the only thing left is who you become by doing it yourself. So let me bring this full circle. My niece answers complaint letters in 5 minutes instead of 25. Her company needs 5 times fewer of her. Soon, they might not need her at all. But here's the question nobody's asking.
What did she lose by letting AI do the work? She lost the practice of reading carefully, thinking deeply, crafting a response, communicating clearly. She lost 20 minutes of growth, every single letter. And multiply that across every job, every task, every human activity. We're gaining efficiency, but we're losing humanity. And in a world where 10 billion humanoid robots are walking the streets, where AI has an IQ 100 times yours, where everything you can do on a computer can be automated, what's left? The answer isn't more efficiency. The answer isn't letting AI do everything. The answer is choosing to do things yourself, not for the output, for the growth. Write your own symphony, not because it'll be better than AI's, because you'll become a better person by writing it. Build your own business, not because it'll be more efficient, because you'll gain scars that make you smarter. Make real friends, not because it's easier than AI friends, because you'll learn how to be human. Because if we lose that, if we automate everything, outsource all thinking, replace all effort with efficiency, we gain the output, but we lose ourselves. And here's the devastating truth most people won't face. The world is headed toward a place where humans become obsolete. Not because AI is better, because we stop being human. We stop learning social skills. We stop thinking deeply. We stop doing hard things. We become consumers of AI output, not creators of human value. And in that world, the question isn't what jobs will survive. The question is, what's the point of being human? And the answer, the only answer, is this. The point isn't what you produce. The point is who you become by producing it. So here's the only question that matters. Are you going to let AI make you obsolete, or are you going to choose to stay human? Not by rejecting AI, by remembering why we do things in the first place. We don't write to have books. We write to become better thinkers. We don't build businesses to have businesses. We build businesses to become better leaders. We don't make friends to have friends. We make friends to become better humans. That's what's left when AI can do everything better. Not the output, the growth. And if you forget that, if you chase efficiency over humanity, output over growth, automation over effort, you'll wake up one day and realize you've been replaced. Not by AI, by your own choice to stop being human. Don't let that happen. Do the hard things. Write your own symphony. Build your own business. Make real friends. Not because it's efficient, because it's human. That's what's left. That's what always will be.